They came to New Zealand on the promise of good wages, accommodation and food. 16 Fijian workers borrowed hundreds of dollars from family and friends to pay Faroz Ali and his accomplices so-called administrative and filing fees for the chance to work on New Zealand orchards. But when they arrived in New Zealand, they often had to sleep on the floor and were paid just a fraction of what they had been promised. Today, Faroz Ali was found guilty of human trafficking, the first such conviction in New Zealand, and dozens of other charges too. Our Auckland court reporter Edward Gay has been following the case. Edward, thanks for joining us in the studio. How did the scam work?
Well, John, the Crown Prosecutor Luke Clancy said that Ali's de facto partner Gita and her sister Sanjana, they listed advertisements back in Fiji in the Fijian newspapers promising this good money for fruit picking in New Zealand. Accommodation and food were all part of the deal. And we know that New Zealand authorities have actually contacted their counterparts over in Fiji. They've passed on information about Gita and Sanjana. So far, no arrests have been made. But the workers who answered those advertisements, they had to pay these consultation and administrative fees, and they often totaled about 1,500 Fijian dollars, a lot of money to Fijian workers. And we understand some of those workers borrowed money from friends and family, from their village funds, their central village funds, and some of them haven't been able to pay that money back. And in one case, the entire village turned out to farewell the worker because that person was the first person from the village to actually go overseas. By contrast, Ali is said to have made at least $100,000 in the scam by not paying the minimum wage or the holiday pay to those workers.
So they were coming to New Zealand, they were going to work here and they were going to send this money home. So this was a tremendous opportunity for them and a terrible scam. Once they landed, they were met by Faroz Ali at the airport.
Yeah, and that's right. And they had only these 1 month visitors visas, so not work permits, despite having been promised these work permits. Some stayed on the floor of Ali's Papatoetoe flat, and he used them to actually charge them for rent to sleep on the floor. He employed some of them in his construction business, and he's pleaded guilty on the first day of trial to charges of helping them breach visa conditions and of not paying them the minimum wage. Others went to orchards in the Bay of Plenty where they would do pruning, and the orchard workers were promised up to 900 New Zealand dollars a week. And again, quite a large amount by Fijian standards or even New Zealand standards, but many were only paid for the first week or two of work, and then after that a lot of were paid nothing for their work. One worker described Ali as only ever talking about reductions to his pay when he'd complained, reductions for rent, reductions for food. Another said that when he complained, Ali actually threatened to report him to the police and to get him deported back to Fiji. And when the workers' visas expired, their visitors' visas, Ali then took them to his lawyer to renew those visas. The cost of those applications, we know, were $165. Ali charged the workers $500. Essentially, Ali and his associates were clipping the ticket at every opportunity. Ali and his co-accused Jafar Kurisi, who's already pleaded guilty, they'll both be sentenced in October.
Edward Gay, who was in court, thank you so much. We appreciate it.